My hands gripped the countertop so hard my knuckles went pale. The laughter kept ringing in my ears. I wasn't just some joke to her. I was the setup to a punchline she proudly delivered to her circle of fake smiles and filtered facades. Her friends who wore judgment like perfume, and looked through me like I was the hired help. I backed out of that kitchen like it was on fire. My chest burned, not from smoke but fury. I grabbed my keys, drove nowhere. I didn't even remember starting the engine, but I ended up parked under a dead street lamp outside a bar Camilla used to call beneath us. Funny, those were the only places that made sense now. I walked inside and sat at the bar like gravity gave up on me. The bartender poured whiskey like he could read my face. No words, no judgment. The burn in my throat wasn't punishment. It was permission. Permission to stop being quiet. To stop forgiving. To stop playing the background while she starred in a life I built. I pulled out my phone. Scrolled through old photos. Me smiling. Her kissing my cheek. Birthday cakes I baked. Designer bags I saved for. All proof of a man who gave, and a woman who took. Every picture felt like a lie. Camouflaged betrayal wrapped in lighting and filters. When I got home, she was in bed. Face glowing from her phone screen, probably bragging in DMs or planning her next weekend brunch with the same women who laughed at my name. I didn't say a word. I just stared. And for the first time, she noticed the silence. "You okay?" she asked, voice soft. That fake softness I'd once thought was tenderness. "Yeah," I said. "Just tired. Tired of loving someone who measured me against strangers. Tired of waiting to be seen." The next day, I acted like nothing happened. Made her eggs. Squeezed fresh juice. Gave her a goodbye kiss at the door. She smiled like she deserved all of it. Like nothing was ever wrong. Like I wasn't swallowing poison with every gesture. I waited until she left. Then I got to work. First, the closet. Every stitch of clothing I ever paid for, boxed. Every pair of heels, every handbag, every custom-ordered spa kit she never even used, gone. I changed the locks, called the doorman, updated the security system. Then, I messaged her. "You've got 1 hour. Come get what's yours. After that, it's trash." She didn't reply right away. Probably thought I was joking. I wasn't. 42 minutes later, she showed up. Furious. Hair wild, sunglasses covering eyes that couldn't look at me. "You're being crazy," she shouted as she stormed inside. "No," I said calmly. "I've just been quiet too long." She saw the boxes. Her mouth dropped. "You're throwing me out." "No," I said again, slower. "You threw yourself out when you told your friends I was your cook and cleaner. You were eavesdropping." I almost laughed. "No. I was walking in with the wine you requested. Like staff." Her lips parted. She looked around the apartment like it was disappearing in front of her. "I didn't mean it like that." "But you said it like that," I replied. And they laughed because it sounded true. Because to them, I wasn't your husband. I was your convenience. Her eyes welled, but no tears fell. "You're seriously ending this over a joke?" "No. I'm ending it because the joke was your loyalty." She stepped closer, arms reaching for me. "We can fix this." I stepped back. "We won't. You already broke it." She screamed my name like it had power over me. It didn't anymore. I opened the door. "Take your boxes. Leave your apologies." She didn't move. I didn't blink. Eventually, she grabbed her things. One by one. The silence between us was louder than all her laughter combined. She walked out without looking back. I closed the door behind her. And that was the moment I finally exhaled. Sunlight pierced through half-open blinds, scattering across furniture like judgmental eyes. My apartment, once full of soft scents and echoes of her presence, now felt bigger, colder. I didn't mind. Emptiness never betrayed me. By noon, curiosity dragged me toward her social feed. Camilla's digital persona hadn't skipped a beat. Filtered photos, curated captions, throwbacks of luxury lunches. Not a trace of our fallout. No remorse. Not even a cryptic quote about heartbreak. Just a woman pretending nothing changed. I expected tears. Instead, I got indifference dressed in designer. Then something strange happened. My inbox lit up. It wasn't Camilla. It was Tessa. She'd been one of Camilla's influencer friends, quiet, stylish, always watching but rarely speaking. We'd exchanged pleasantries over champagne or charcuterie boards, but never anything meaningful. Until now. Her message was simple. If you ever want the full truth, meet me tonight. My place. No strings. Just clarity. I stared at the screen, pulse quickening. My instinct screamed trap. But my pride whispered closure. And closure wears many disguises. Her apartment sat 10 floors above mine in the neighboring building. Sleek, modern, filled with dim lights and silence. She opened the door wearing a silk robe that kissed her thighs, neckline dipped lower than memory allowed. "Didn't think you'd actually come," she said, voice low like velvet dragging across skin. "Neither did I admitted, stepping inside. Candles flickered. Jazz hummed softly from hidden speakers. Everything felt intentional. Dangerous. Seductive. Tessa poured 2 glasses of something expensive, handed me one without breaking eye contact. "I'm not here to cause drama," she began, settling onto the couch. "But I hated watching you become her shadow. You deserved better." I stayed standing. She smirked. "Still don't trust me?" "No reason I should." She nodded, sipping slowly. "Fair. But I was there that night, the dinner with her girls. I heard everything. They all laughed. But I didn't." My jaw clenched. "She bragged about how you do everything," Tessa continued. "Cooking, cleaning, booking flights, managing her schedule. She called you a domesticated Labrador in an apron." They howled. I swallowed the heat rising in my throat. "She didn't say it out of frustration," Tessa whispered. "She said it to show dominance. To remind them she controlled a man better than they ever could." I closed my eyes. Then her voice shifted. "But here's what she didn't brag about." She stood slowly, walking toward me, steps deliberate. "She never mentioned how devoted you were. How gentle. How damn good you looked when you thought no one was watching." Her hand reached for my chest, fingertips tracing fabric. "She forgot to say how many times I thought about you instead of her boy toys." "Tessa." She moved closer, breath mingling with mine. "I don't want forever," she said. "Just tonight." Her robe slipped. Black lace. Curves sculpted by gods. Eyes daring me to forget everything. I shouldn't have. But I did. Our mouths collided, years of quiet ache igniting. Clothes fell like confessions. Her skin against mine, hot and eager. She whispered curses between moans, fingers dragging along my spine. We didn't make love. We made revenge. Hard, fast, raw. Each thrust was a message sent to Camilla's ego. Every gasp was a goodbye to the life I once protected. When it ended, we lay tangled in sweat and silk, silence draped over us like sheets. "You're free now," Tessa murmured. "Feels empty," I replied. "Good. Fill it with something real next time." I dressed without another word. By morning, Camilla had sent a string of messages. Apologies that smelled like performance. Please dressed as humility. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. I had already answered with action. And the echoes were only beginning. Dawn arrived without warning, yet I didn't sleep. My thoughts spun like torn records, skipping through betrayal, lust, consequences. The echo of Tessa's breath still haunted my skin. Her nails left trails not just on my back, but on my judgment. I wasn't sure if I felt vindicated, or dirtier than ever. Still, I couldn't lie. Part of me wanted it. Camilla's texts multiplied like weeds, paragraphs begging forgiveness, voice notes coated with desperate sweetness. I listened once. That was enough. Her lies always wore expensive perfume. The doorbell chimed that afternoon. I watched through the peephole. Not her. Him. Sebastian. Camilla's younger brother. Always neutral, always avoiding conflict like it was contagious. Except today, he looked furious. I opened. You tossed her out like trash, he hissed. She made herself garbage, I said flatly. She's my sister. And I was her husband. He stepped inside uninvited, pacing like a storm ready to burst. You humiliated her. She's shattered. She laughed at me, I said, voice calm. Told strangers I was her maid. Her trained help. You want sympathy from me now. She said it was a joke. Then she can laugh all the way to family court. That stopped him. Eyes widened. You filed. I nodded. Already signed. Delivery scheduled. He sat, breath stolen. I don't understand how everything collapsed so fast. I stared past him. It didn't collapse. It rotted slowly. I just finally stopped pretending it smelled like roses. Silence lingered. Then he said it. She cheated, didn't she? My gaze locked onto his. He sank deeper into the couch. Damn. After he left, I went to the balcony. Watched the city breathe. Below, strangers rushed into routines, blind to the wreckage within my walls. Above, clouds hung low, like they knew too much. That's when the knock came. Again. But not Camilla. This time, her. Tessa. I opened, already knowing the danger. She didn't speak. She just kissed me. Hard. I didn't resist. Our bodies knew before our words did. This time, slower. Deeper. Like fire in molasses. Her hands moved with intention. Mine responded without conscience. The living room became a cathedral of sin. Moans replaced sermons. She whispered my name like a confession. I gave her everything she wanted, maybe more. Afterward, she didn't stay. She dressed wordlessly, lips still swollen. I don't want to break you, she said softly, eyes avoiding mine. You didn't, I replied. She paused. But I'm not your healing either. Then she left. Just like that. I showered until the mirror fogged, water washing away sweat but not the guilt. Later, another message appeared. This time, from Marlene. Camilla's mother. I heard what happened. Please come to dinner. We need to talk. Dinner. Like this was some sitcom misunderstanding? Still, something about the wording felt less like sympathy and more like a trap. I accepted. Because part of me needed to see how deep the poison went. Her estate sat nestled among manicured hedges, guarded gates, imported fountains. A world where appearances mattered more than people. I stepped inside. Camilla was already there. Red dress. Smoky eyes. Fake humility. Marlene greeted me with rehearsed warmth. Darling, we've all made mistakes, she said, guiding me inside like a diplomat. I didn't, I replied. I only married one. Camilla winced. Marlene sighed. Look, we all say things we don't mean. You've had your tantrum. Let's move forward. My fork froze mid-air. Tantrum? I asked. You embarrassed her publicly, Marlene snapped. You made her grovel. She degraded me privately for months. Public consequences were overdue. Camilla finally spoke. I didn't know I'd hurt you that bad. You never asked. Her eyes welled, mascara clinging to fragile lashes. I miss us, she whispered. I stood. Napkin folded. Appetite gone. You miss what I gave. Not who I was. Her mother grabbed my wrist. Don't do this. I looked down at her hand. I already did. I walked out. Into nightfall. Free. Alone. But not broken. Not anymore. A week passed. My phone, silent. My bed, colder. My heart, steadier. The divorce papers had been delivered. Signed. Sealed. Freedom officially filed. No messages followed. No surprise appearances. Just quiet. And in that stillness, something shifted inside me. I began living. Mornings began with coffee. Not obligation. Afternoons weren't for grocery lists or dry cleaning her dresses. Evenings weren't filled with makeup removal lectures or subtle digs disguised as jokes. I started painting again, something I'd shelved for her curated life. My canvas bloomed. Anger bled into color, lust into movement, heartbreak into beauty. Then she called. Camilla. Not to beg, not to scream, just to say, I sold the townhouse. I'm moving. Where? London. Long pause. You're not going to ask me why. I didn't reply. Because I can't stay here. Every building, every street, every breath reminds me of how I ruined everything. I waited. I never loved you right, she said, voice cracking. You gave me heaven. I treated you like furniture. That silence again. I hope someone worships you someday, she whispered. The way you once worshipped me. Then she hung up. And just like that, her chapter closed. 2 days later, I bumped into Tessa again. Grocery store. Sweatpants. No makeup. Hair messy. Beautiful still. She saw me. Smiled. Still painting? She asked. Every night. She tilted her head. Still angry. Not at you. Her eyes softened. Want company? I hesitated. Then nodded. That night, we didn't sleep together. We just talked. About missed chances. Growing pains. Crushed expectations. Lust without love. Love without trust. She curled beside me as dawn peeked through blinds. I'm not her, she murmured. I know. I won't beg for forever. I don't need it. She kissed my chest. Warmth returned. Slowly. Deliberately. Months passed. We became something unspoken. Something simple. No labels. No traps. No lies. One evening, I returned home from a gallery where my work now hung among strangers. My phone pinged. A DM. From an unknown name. You probably don't remember me. I was at that dinner. The night she mocked you. Just wanted you to know, I left my fiancée after that. Watching her destroy you made me realize I'd become her. Thank you for waking me up. I hope you're happier now. I smiled. Deleted it. Not because I was rude. Because I didn't need validation anymore. Camilla's memory had become dust. Her laughter. A ghost. My life. Mine again. And for once, that was enough.